Chapter 5, Equilibrium of a Rigid Body, example number 2. We have a fixed beam with a 1200 Newton force and a 600 Newton force acting on this fixed beam. One is 3 meters away, one is 4 meters away. That is our given. Our find is the reaction forces on the beam. So find the reaction forces on the beam. My approach, free body diagram, and my equilibrium equations. So I'll draw my beam here. I'm so horrible with drawing lines on this. It's a little better. I have a 1200 Newton force here, and I have a 600 Newton force here. This distance here will be 4 meters. This distance here is 3 meters. Now let's look at my reaction forces at point A. So I have AY, I have AX. That is pretty horrible. I have, there we go, a little better, AX. And I have my moment about point A. So these are the three reaction forces that I'm looking at. This is all I have just here. So I have moment about A, I have AX, and I have AY. So real quickly, let's just make common sense and say, if I sum my forces in the X direction, what do I have? Nothing. I just have AX. So if I was to write this out, it would be sum my forces in the X. Going to the right is positive. I have that AX is 0. Now, if I sum my forces in the Y, how many unknowns do I have? I have AY. Everything else is known. So I could say AY minus 1200 newtons minus 600 newtons is all equal to 0. So AY is going to be 1800 newtons. And the last thing I need to do is I need to solve for my moment about point A. So if I sum my moment, and if I do it about point A, yes, I still have to account for this moment here. So my moment about point A is equal to 0. So I have moment about A, I'm saying that's positive. Now 1200 newtons, it is acting in a clockwise fashion, and so is 600 newtons. So I'm going to say minus 1200 newtons times its distance, which is 3 meters, minus 600 newtons times 3 plus 4 is 7 meters. Is all equal to 0. Putting all this in my calculator and taking all of this to the other side, I get that moment about A is equal to 7,800 Newton meters. Now remember, when you do your homework and tests, I know the quizzes, when you upload your quizzes, a lot of the work on the quizzes are really hard to explain. I know you're just putting work done, but if I can't understand what you're doing, it's hard for me to give you additional credit. So if you did your work somewhere so I can understand your thought process, I'll be able to give you additional credit. But if you look at this, I have my units. Make sure you're putting your units on your work. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm going to do one more example for chapter 5, for 5.1 to 5.3. Thanks.